Theater Department, Patricia Ryan teaches drama and the nuances of self-presentation in American culture. Hi, Patricia.
Hello, Phil.
As a drama teacher, you train actors in self-presentational skills to help them convey an impression to an audience. How does that work?
Well, there's a concept we use called status, which has to do with how we manipulate the affect of ourself to one another. The content in a given circumstance can be the same, but the way in which I speak to you, the way that I use nonverbal cues will affect my relationship to you. There are 4 aspects that we can manipulate in terms of status transactions. The first of these would be eye contact. And it's commonly known that eye contact is a useful device in asserting oneself. As I'm continuing to talk about this subject, start averting your gaze from time to time. Fail to make eye contact with me, but stay in the scene and continue to listen, but just change the way in which you relate. Something has shifted in the way nothing else has shifted except that you're not really looking at me. How does it make you feel when you do that?
Disengaged. I mean, we're not in synchrony the way we were before.
Another variable, of course, is whether or not the body is moving in a sustained way or whether it has sort of jerky movements. As soon as I begin to kind of move my body in jerky ways, it also affects my speech, you notice. It's hard to sustain sentences when I'm moving and my head's moving up and down. Yeah. And a lot of people kind of, but it at the cost of their status in some cases. So that the prototype for high status would be someone who is basically calm, who speaks in complete sentences, breathes deeply, makes eye contact, and doesn't have any particular jerky mannerisms.
Can we demonstrate some of these?
Yes, we could. There's a short scene in which we'll play ourselves in a just coming to meet one another. The scene begins, you say hello.
Hello.
And I say hello. And you say, been waiting long.
Been waiting long.
And I say ages.
That's going to be constant in all the scenes?
Right. Now, the first time we play it, why don't you come in maintaining high status kinds of postures with the eyes and face and body, and I'll play low status behavior and see what the result is.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Been waiting long?
Ages. Okay. Good. Why don't you try, let's switch who is high status, and I'll be high status staying here, and you enter the scene in a low status mode.
Hello.
Hello.
Been waiting long?
Ages. Good. All right, then not only can we manipulate our own status, it's possible to lower the status of the person you're with.
All right.
Let's try that.
Hello.
Hello.
Been waiting long?
Ages.
Status transaction. Teresa Amabile of Brandeis University is a leading researcher in the psychology of creativity and the self.
We did a study a few years ago looking at the effects of competition on children's creativity. Competition obviously includes elements of reward and evaluation and that competitive aspect also. We did this in the context of a party, a group sort of situation. We ran 2 different parties in a community center in an apartment complex. We invited half of the girls who lived in the apartment complex to come to an art party on Saturday, and the other half we invited to come to an art party on Sunday. These were girls ages 7 through 11. The key activity both days was making a paper collage. And we told the children, you can do anything you'd like, but we want it to be a silly sort of collage. We gave them all the same kind of theme to work with. For each group, before they started their collages, I stood up at the front of the room and I said, look, I have these 3 neat prizes up here, and I showed them. They were attractive things to 7-year-old, 11-year-old kids. In one group, the Sunday group, we said, we are going to award these prizes to the 3 best children, to the 3 best artworks, the children who made those, at the end of the art party. In the other group, the Saturday group, we said, we have these 3 prizes and we're going to raffle them off after you've made your artworks. So the prizes were there for both groups. However distracted they might have felt or excited, was the same in both groups. The only difference was what those prizes meant. Was it a competition or not? They all made their collages, and then later on, when we had artists look at all the collages made by the girls in both groups and rate them on creativity, we found that those made by the girls in the competition group were significantly less creative. The competition group children tended to make very ordinary kinds of symbols, whereas the children in the non-competition group, some of them used just a few pieces in their collage, some of them used almost all the pieces that they had. They really did a lot of non-representational things in the non-competition group. We have found, as a grand principle in all of our research, that people will be most creative when they feel motivated primarily by the interest and enjoyment, the satisfaction, the challenge of the work itself, and not by external pressures.
So now you know some of